Well, hello there, random person on the internet who's hopefully not looking for the best deck in Standard, because this one ain't it. It's pretty cool though. Oh look, a zombie. Whoop. Now it's a lion? Okay. Whoa, now it's a bat? Oh, don't eat that. Oh, and now it's whatever this is. Now, why would somebody do this to these innocent zombies? Well, you gotta have something to sacrifice for the moth god, right? Now, today's deck is a little bit more complicated. There should be a pop-up here to tell you when the gameplay starts. Oh, oops, that's just a friendly reminder to like and subscribe. Well, sounds like a pretty cool people idea to me, you know? I mean, okay, here's the pop-up, and to everyone who stayed, let me try to explain. The idea of the deck started when I was trying to make Dreadhorde Invasion into a mutation station. When you mutate on an army token, it's not a zombie anymore, so it's getting replaced next turn when you amass again. The creature keeps the +1/+1 counter though, so you're not losing a card while mutating. I mean, obviously, if you mutate on that same creature again for value, you're setting yourself up for a 2-for-1.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Oh, I'm sorry, Imperial Guard. I forgot about the value code of law. I mean, of course we have a plan for when our creature dies, and that's Mothra. Well, I don't have the card style, so it's Luminous Broodmoth. As long as our mutated creature doesn't have flying when it dies, all of these creatures come back separately and all with flying counters on them. But dying only twice is for losers, so there's gotta be a way to get these flying counters off these creatures. And look at that, we can even draw cards for it. Soul Diviner works great with the Broodmoth, but also works great with the Dreadhorde Invasion, since we basically draw a card every turn. But you know what else works great with the Dreadhorde Invasion? Fiend Artisan. We can just sack a token every turn and get whatever creature we want out of our deck. To grow our Fiend Artisan, we need to fill our graveyard, so we got Maya Trident to mill us and Woe Strider to sacrifice creatures at will. But having these creatures in the graveyard is great for another thing, and that's reanimation. So if you just imagine a line right here and haha, special effects. Well, here's the complete deck list, and we just go over every card separately and then get into some gameplay. Let's first start with the 4-offs. We got Maya Trident, mills us, gains us life, Death Touch, great blocker against aggro. Then we got Woe Strider, we can sacrifice creatures for value once we got the Moth in play. Also the Goat is a pretty disposable mutate target. And the last 4-off is Dreadhorde Invasion. We usually only need one of them, but we really want it on turn 2, so full playset here. To offset all this life loss, we got 10.5 sources of life gain in this deck, just so we don't kill ourselves with the trigger. And Soul Diviner and Fiend Artisan can also get extra value from these zombie tokens. Then we got Crystalline Giant, or should I say Mecha Godzilla. Sometimes you just need a giant robot dinosaur with rocket launchers and lasers, but no. But for real, if this has Hexproof or First Strike Death Touch, this is an absolute house and a great mutate target. Then we got our trusty Farfinder here. Sometimes you just need that 4th land, you know, all our mutate creatures cost at least 4, so really want to hit that 4th land drop.
Do you know the way?
Oh god, no. I'm sorry for this one. Hope this doesn't happen again. Then we get to our mutate creatures. We got Cup Warden against aggro, Dirgebat as removal, and Snapdex against aggro and as removal. And Snapdex ability also crazy good with Death Touch or Lifelink and Nethroi, having both Death Touch and Lifelink, and also reanimating pretty much our whole graveyard. Note that Fiend Artisan is a 1/1 in the graveyard, so even though it might be a 9/9 on the battlefield, you can just get all of them with your Nethroi trigger. And then we got a 1-off Necropanther and Boneyard Lurker just to make sure that nothing ever really dies here. And that's it for the deck tech. But don't save the deck list yet, there might be an addition later that really spices the deck up, but who knows what it is? You'll know if you watch this video. Now, let's get into some games. And let's go! Game number 1 against Happy Killer. We got a pretty decent keep here on the play, just play the Triumph past the turn. Opponent Mountain Scorch Spitter, so probably mono red aggro. We play the Soul Diviner as a 2/3 blocker, pass the turn. Opponent Cavalcade of Calamities, so there's probably a lot more 1-mana 1/1s coming, but we can deal with them. We play the Maya Trident, Millers, get some life, play the Temple, scry a land to the bottom, pass the turn. Opponent Grim Initiate, Tin Street Dodger, makes it unblockable, attacks for 2. And we draw a Woe Strider. Play the Woe Strider, play a Triumph, pass the turn. Opponent Fervent Champion, and Grim Initiate, attacking with the Tin Street. We draw Mecha Godzilla, get a Plains, play the Godzilla, hopefully getting lifelink or something here. Fiend Artisan as a 2/2. Mecha Godzilla gets a Death Touch counter, not really relevant, but we can just eat it with the Soul Diviner. Opponent another Scorch Spitter, attacks with the Tin Street, passes the turn. We remove the Death Touch counter, draw a card, sacrifice the goat, scry that Brood Moth to the top, definitely. Play the Moth, at least for the sweet animation. I love it. And Mechagodzilla getting hexproof, yes. That's the blessing of the Moth. That's arguably the best ability counter it can get. Our opponent, Chandra's Spitfire. Well, this can be dangerous if they have Embercleave or something. We sacrifice the Maya Trident to the Rose Glider, scry, Millers, remove the counter. Now we could have sacrificed another time here just to Millers since we're playing Nethroi, but I'm dumb and I didn't do it. There's no other explanation. Okay, draw a card. This Fiend Artisan should be in our graveyard. We are mutating on the Hexproof Crystalline Giant, getting both lions out of our grave. Still great value here. Attack with the Moth, because we can, and pass the turn. Opponent attacks with all creatures separately, because they don't have to edit this. Okay. So that's the Alpha Strike. Did they draw the Embercleave? If so, they got us. They just got us. But if not, I think we not only survived this attack, but it's also a pretty bad attack then. We sacrificed the Maya Trident to give it flying, to block the Spitfire, and that's enough. No Embercleave, GG. Game number 2, we on the play with a fantastic keep. Play the Temple, keep the Moth on top. Let's see what our opponent does. Island Go. Okay, we play the Dreadhorde Invasion, which is pretty good against control decks, so Island Go again from our opponent. We get a zombie, and does this Fiend Artisan resolve? Oh, it does. That's weird. That either means our opponent doesn't know about Fiend Artisan and Dreadhorde Invasion, or they just didn't have a counter, but I kinda doubt it. Brineborn Cutthroat, end of turn. They play an island, we get an island. Never mind. We do not get an island. Well, Arena just lagged out while I was selecting the land. I'm pretty sure I clicked the island, but I guess we got a swamp. No? Okay. We grow a zombie. Well, now we got an island anyway. Play the Farfinder. No, sorry. And grab a Plains. Pass the turn. Opponent passes back again. Dreadhorde Invasion trigger. We play the Fable Passage. Attack with the zombie. No blocks. Pass the turn. Opponent opts. Grows the Brineborn Cutthroat. Back to them. We try to play the Dirtbed here end of turn, and this one is getting quenched. Now, that's okay. It was more of a bait. They might have another counter though, so I think we go for Woe Strider. Yeah, Woe Strider getting countered, but I don't care. We play another Fiend Artisan, which is amazing against them. Pass the turn. Opponent passes back again. We grow our zombie. Well, sacrifice the Farfinder, get a Moth, uncounterable, and, well, pass the turn. Opponent unsummons our zombie. That's sad, but okay. We get our zombie back. Attack with the Moth. Moth getting unsummoned, and Arena crashed. Well, you prepare those assets, Arena. Let's see if we're back in it. Yep, we're back in it. Still getting unsummoned, but still looking pretty good here. We sacrifice the zombie to get a Nethroi, which is just here to pressure our opponent, so they really have to leave a counter up, since if we mutate on this, the game is pretty much over. Attack with Nethroi just to offer a trade, since they only have one threat in play. They just take it down to 12. We play a Luminous Broodmoth, getting countered. Fine with me. Sacrifice the zombie, get a Soul Diviner. Now look at this, our opponent might counter everything we do, but Fiend Artisan and Dreadhorde Invasion is pretty much unbeatable as a control deck. Play a land, try to resolve the Moth, and it resolves, well, I mean, attack with Nethroi, they take it down to 7. We sacrifice Nethroi, Nethroi comes back, get a Mecha Godzilla just to pressure our opponent. Remove the counter from Nethroi, draw a card, opponent hitting us with a good game, and, well, I mean, what are they gonna do, right? Wait, they had a Brazen Borrower and didn't use it. I think our opponent did just not know what they're playing against here. Well, that's the advantage of playing Jank, you know? Our opponent was just kinda getting bamboozled by our game plan here. Well, opponent attacks with the Brazen Borrower, slaps an Octopus underneath it, draws a card, passes the turn, but we're just gonna swing all and see what they do. Yep, they take it, and we take the game. GG, through a disconnect. They just didn't know what they're up against here. Hey, remember that time I told you about that mystery card? Well, it was in this last game that I realized we needed a little bit more endgame to assemble with our Fiend Artisan, and, well, since we're playing Broodmoth, Roast Rider and Soul Diviner anyway, we can just play Corridor Monitor, which pretty much goes infinite with them. If we got all these cards in play and sacrifice the Corridor Monitor, it will come back, trigger its ETB effect again, so untap a creature, and have a flying counter on it. Now we tap the Soul Diviner to get that flying counter off there, untap the Soul Diviner, sack it again, and that's an infinite loop. So you probably say, oh yeah, we play Thassa's Oracle or Cruel Celebrant as in this preview here, but to be honest, you'll just time yourself out if you do this on Arena. So in paper, sure, put that one of Thassa's Oracle in there just to have an alternate win condition. We just play one Corridor Monitor just to have the option to draw our entire deck, and maybe our opponent gets intimidated and scoops or something. Well, so now the deck has a way to draw its entire library, so you should be able to piece together a win from there anyway. Now let's see if we can pull that off in a real game. Let's go, game number 3 with a decent hand as long as we draw some lands. Opponent on Gyruda, not sure if that's a great matchup. We play Maya Trident and mill 2 lands that we would prefer to draw. Opponent on Sultai Colors plays a Paradise Druid, passes back. We draw the 3rd land anyway, play a Farfinder to get the 4th one. Shut up with these old memes, goddammit. Get a Swamp and attack, offer the trade. They don't take it, obviously. Opponent plays a Forest and Marrowleaf Pixie, a bit of an unconventional choice here, and a Leafkin Druid, so next turn it's Gyruda time. We just play the Moth, attack with both creatures since we get them back anyway if they die. And here we go. Nope, that's a Heartless Act. And another one? Well, I guess that's good for them as well. I just don't know how we win this game, to be honest. We play Mecha Godzilla, getting a first strike countered well, and now it's finally Gyruda time. What can they get? Oh god, Kogla beating up our Mecha Godzilla. Well, I mean, Fiend Artisan is a 2-mana 6/6, so that's good, but probably not good enough. We play a Woe Strider, pass the turn, and another Heartless Act on the Fiend Artisan. We sack it for scrying, and I mean, Boneyard Lurker gets us the land for this Dirge bet, but not sure if that's gonna get us there. Oh god, opponent plays a Gargos, attacks with the big boys, and we just jump with the goat here. Not looking good. Well, we play the Boneyard Lurker, getting us a land so we can play another Fiend Artisan. So we can block here, we're not really dead yet, but not too optimistic about this. Opponent plays a Temple and Okay, now we're definitely dead, and wow, we got whooped here. Well, let's get to the next one. Well, let's go. That's a decent hand. We're on the play and start up with a Triome and pass the turn. Opponent, Godless Shrine tapped, passes back. We play a Swamp, play a Dreadhorde Invasion. Opponent, Euthymia the Cacophony, so Black-White Auras maybe? We play Maya Trident, mill a Fiend Artisan and a land, play the Fabled Passage, pass the turn. Opponent attacks, we get an island. And plays a Temple, passes back, so not too good of a turn 3 from our opponent. We just play the Soul Diviner. Attack for 4. Opponent on Abzan plays a Cetizen Champion, Kaya's Ghost Form on it, draws a card. That's a lot of value. Passes back to us, we grow our zombie but immediately eat the counter to draw a card. Play the Broodmoth. Pass the turn. Opponent, Oath of Kaya, draws a card, shoots us for 3. Hateful Eidolon draws another card, passes back. We grow the zombie, eat the counter, draw a card. Oh, that's a lot of lands. Ghost Rider, we really need to stop drawing lands here. Opponent Banishing Lies draws a card, tries to exile our Broodmoth, but we sacrifice it. Maya Trident to the bottom, plays a Lion. And an Elsie draws another card. We sacrifice the goat, see what's on top, Ghost Rider to the bottom, and attacks for 2. We grow the zombie, Farfinder on top, draw an additional card. Ooh, Nethroi is pretty good. We got only a Fiend Artisan and a Moth, but that's enough for me. Mutate on the zombie, making it a 7/7 Death Touch lifelink, getting both our creatures back, and opponent hitting us with the nice, well, that's pretty nice, I gotta admit, but they're doing pretty good as well. Plays a Sentinel's Eyes, draws a card, another Cetizen Champion, another Euthymia, draws 2 cards, and passes back. We make an army, draw a card, and, well, I mean, sacrifice the army, get a Corridor Monitor, and proceed to draw our entire deck? Well, our opponent doesn't know that we have no real win condition here, since we would time out if we draw our entire deck. Maybe they just get intimidated here. We just draw until we find a probably Snap decks. We gotta find, I don't know. I actually don't know how to win this game, but let's draw some cards and see where we get from there. Oh, whoa, what? Our opponent just had enough and scooped? Well, they probably thought I had Thassa's Oracle or something. Well, I take it. And that's the end of this video. If you want to try the deck out for yourself, there's a Decklist link in the description. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and if you want to see more stuff like little illustrations or memes that might not be big enough for YouTube, follow me on Twitter. I post pretty much everything there. And with that said, see you in the next one, where we'll probably be playing Historic, since that format is sweet.